Welcome back, WNST, Tassel, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We are positively in Dundalk. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. It's the conclusion of August and the conclusion of 31 crab cakes in 31 days, all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. We're letting ourselves play. For being a contestant, Mickey got a free crab cake, and he's about to. Did you ever pink the balls when you worked at BAL? Did you ever have to? Did you ever? You used to do that?
No, I never picked them. I did commercials for them and stuff.
You were never the guy at 7 o'clock that went to BAL.
I was never there.
Sarah Fleischer was always
doing
that.
mornings.
Oh, they would never. I thought they'd give you like an extra financial incentive to do that.
They paid me fine when I was there.
I bet they did, from what I read.
Yeah.
As I remember it.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm not paying Mickey a damn thing, but he's getting a free lottery ticket courtesy of the Maryland Lottery.
That's better than getting paid.
Well, our friends at Window Nation also did windows for us about 4 weeks ago. Now when I shoot the video of the fox out the window, it's beautiful because the windows are clean.
Is that mine?
No, this is mine.
Son of a gun.
You like those?
I want one for golf.
Well, I can't. I only have one, but
you're happy.
You don't
with
think
those?
Window Nation would give you another one for Mickey?
Mickey's getting the hat. It's the end of the tour. I'm giving the hat away. Greg, I need a new hat. Our friends at Goodwill, I'm not giving you my truck. This
No,
truck's
that you
mine.
can have.
You
That
like
you
those?
can
You
Goodwill.
like those new windows from Window Nation?
I love the new windows. Everything about them. My old windows are 30 years old, so it needed to happen.
Yeah.
The new windows, this is true. We have a lot less bugs in our place because
The ceiling.
Yeah,
of
all
course.
that stuff's been great. And the Restaurant Association of Maryland.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Did you watch them put those windows in?
Wait, Mickey.
It's
before you go down this
unbelievable.
road,
Yes, sir.
You're a window guy.
I can do anything, man.
Comedian, Mickey
I was
Cucchiella.
gonna say,
Versatile.
he's going to talk window
I can.
installation.
I can.
Well, Restaurant Week,
You know, the
September
glaze.
16th to the 25th.
Oh,
I just
listen
wanted
to
let everybody
this.
know
The
that.
glaze on the outside is the important. That's what keeps bugs out. And over the years, the glaze deteriorates faster than the wood or the plastic. Anyway, what were you saying?
What is happening?
No. Hold on.
Do you
Don
understand?
Bowler is here as well.
Don, you got to understand. When you're a comedian,
I
you
knew
know
I
what
was
that
gonna
really
lose
means?
Don.
You
It
do a
means-
lot of other things.
It just means you got a lot of time on your hands where you can make extra money and you learn how to do things, man. You should see me paint. I am Picasso.
Do you know how I know him, and do you know how I know him? And do you know how I know Mickey?
I assume you went to open mic night one night because you thought you were funny.
Oh, my God. I've never done comedy in my life, and he's on my ass all the time.
Nonstop. At least I want to do a roast. You're so afraid of the roast. Like
I
people
don't
are going
wanna
to come
do a
up
roast with
and talk
you.
about when you were in the Boy Scouts or something, and
Oh,
nobody's.
man, I mean, I just don't want
What
to
if-
do a roast.
Why? You can't take it?
I get roasted every day
Yeah,
by
but dude,
everyone.
by
everywhere
those
I
that,
go.
by those who love
I'm the
you,
most
though,
disrespected man in Baltimore.
not by me.
But, I mean, in general, you know.
Well, let's roast you, but I'll take out everybody that disrespects you.
Do you know how I know him?
No, I want to know that.
I met him 40 years ago this week.
This
It might have been
week?
today.
Did you deliver him? What the hell happened?
No, I'm 53, dog. Come on
That's
now.
what I am.
I was short like you when I was 12, and I walked in and met him. Short Mick.
Not like the giant you are now.
So, what school did you get thrown out of? Ninth
Name
grade?
one. Curly.
You got thrown out of
He was
couple,
a
right? I'm
friar.
wrong about that.
I was a friar.
I was a friar.
Okay, so because we've talked
Then I
about
went to
this.
Towson Catholic.
Right.
Then I went to Towson.
General.
And then I was like, I'm going to the Navy. I went to Navy at 16.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about this once.
Gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I wasn't in middle school. I went to junior high school. Right.
Right.
So I was 7th, 8th, and 9th. So
Sure.
it kind of cut me a year of high school. I had a 3-year high school. So I'm at Halliburton Junior High School in 9th grade. I'll never
Is there a
forget it.
finer institute of learning?
I hated everything about Halliburton. I hated my years there.
I'm joking.
I just hated it, right?
Right.
I would tell anybody that. It was the worst time of my life. So they brought me this blue form, and it was more thick. It was more like a punch card.
Right.
And it was the form you were going to fill out for your classes at high school. What
you wanted to do,
electives.
right.
It was a little written thing that the guidance counselors and I'm sure the assistant principals and the teachers got a hold of up there and said, Sally is going to be a homemaker. We're putting her in home ec. Mickey's good with the metal shop. We're going to put him in there.
Right.
This person sang in the choir and plays the drums.
Notice,
right.
Don, I got the metal shop
Right.
class.
He didn't even hesitate.
Not even
he puts
a
you
thought
right in
into
metal
it.
shop.
I'm right in buffing
Dude,
out
you were telling me
rust.
about caulking and windows a
Right,
minute ago.
okay.
I put you were Southeast Vocation, you went to EVT, right?
No, I did
No.
not go to EVT.
EVT.
Flunked out of everything.
Did you listen to his background?
Thank you, Don.
He-
Curly,
They looked at
Calcic-
it. Here's how they handled. Here's how Bob Kemry handled his
Go ahead,
application
go
at
ahead.
EVT.
This is Principal Moeller.
Here's how I did. Cucchiella, kicked out. Next.
Would he have really made it? Would he have really made it to the second? Kicked out.
Probably the
How
first.
the hell-
Kicked out.
Kicked out.
How-
Next.
How the hell did you get kicked out of third grade?
Well, I did have to. You want to hear something really pathetic? So when I was in third grade, my parents moved, and I finished third grade fine. And where we moved to, back to the neighborhood where we were originally
Hamilton?
from. Yeah.
Okay.
They put me in St. Francis Catholic school, but St. Francis said that public school was a year behind public schools in those days, or a year ahead. So I had to repeat fourth grade
To get in.
to go there.
To jump the fence, to get in.
Yeah,
Man, what you educators doing to Ben? What are you so screwed up?
I know. Look here, principal.
We failed him.
No.
But look,
Let
we
me
didn't
say
fail.
something.
Here's the thing. Everybody has a path. So now we've got this world-renowned comedian.
And by world, he means the local North Point Boulevard.
You're on the internet.
No, right,
You're
exactly.
on the World Wide Web.
But you know what? I want to say something in the educator's defense.
Fair enough.
In my day, it was definitely a parent's responsibility to take care of their children's learning. I believe the teachers were there to facilitate it, but the parents were really the ones going, "What'd you learn? You know, where were you today? What?" Nowadays, the teacher is the babysitter, the educator, I almost cussed because I'm passionate about this.
Right.
He's also the therapist. He's the bully protector. It's not fair.
It's an amazing description. And
Am I right?
It's pretty. What we ask, and we're going to have. Actually, it's interesting, Mickey. Nestor and I are having next week. We're having Cheryl Bose, the president of Maryland State Education Association, on to talk about it. What we ask of teachers today, it's almost it's unreal, and it's not shocking that districts across the nation are having teacher shortages.
Of course.
And having trouble attacking.
It's harder to be a teacher now than it is to be an underwater welder.
It's really hard.
I mean, I'm talking about the mental game.
And it's so important, and it's really hard.
Well, so this day in ninth grade in the spring of 1982, I get this form. It was a heavier stock. It was an important paper, right?
Sure.
It was like filling out a bank card. It was
Right.
blue. Filled it all out, and I circled journalism. That's all I ever wanted to be was a journalist.
Right.
And when I got my marching orders, they put me in like home ec.
Yeah.
Or they put me in arts or something,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't remember what it was, but my parents put me in my stepbrother's 76 blue Malibu.
Yeah.
And we drove down Del Valle Avenue, and you mentioned good educators. This guy met me at the front door before school. This is 2 weeks before school started. This is in
Right.
the summer, and
Right.
it had to have been August. 40
Right.
years ago this week, I go in, Don Moeller put me in a journalism program, and to this day, it's the only thing I've ever done in my life. Other than
you
working
go.
at
I'm
Soundwaves
seriously
and East
shaking
Point
his
Market.
hand.
All credit to the journalism
That's all
teacher.
That's the only thing I've ever been as a journalist
But,
in my
Nestor,
life.
you just hit on something that I think is so important that somehow we've lost in our
If
society.
he would have flipped me the bird there and said, "You're going to art class,"
You'd have been a drug
what
dealer.
Kind, what kind of educator would you be to do that? You know what I mean?
But you ended up, when you say journalist, was that Sue Mundy, Don Leifert? Were
Don
they
Leifert,
journalists?
Don
Leifert. Okay.
Yeah.
Sue Mundy was my English
Right,
teacher.
Right.
Well, think about this, though, guys. I mean, Nestor, had you not, and I'll tell a story. It's going to sound like a joke in the beginning, but there's a priest in my life that was in my life that was very, very important to me, Father Burke at St. Francis. My 8th grade year, I mean, I was a class clown, and it drove him crazy because I was one of the smartest kids in the class. I just would not apply myself. It meant nothing
It
to me.
said that on every deficiency stuff,
Every
didn't it?
single
Right.
thing.
Every report card.
Mickey
Yeah.
does not apply
But
himself.
here's the thing.
Right.
Here's the
Right.
craziest thing. If you
Right.
look at my report card from 8th grade, not making this up. Science, A. Religion, A plus. Right? History, A. English, math,
Social studies.
social studies. Could care. Didn't even interest me. I'm not doing the work. And you're talking about a guy who was raised by an iron worker father who was tough as nails. And I would look at him and go, I'm not doing that work. It's stupid. I'm never gonna
Subject,
need it."
verb, predicate.
Right.
You're not down with that.
Right, I'm not down. But Father Burke, I was goofing off in class one day. They sent me to the principal's office, Sister Julia Marie. And she called Father Burke, and I was petrified. You know, you're a ninth grade kid, and a Monsignor's walking in, and he said, "Come on." And I was like, "Oh, God." We got in a car. I thought, I'm getting whacked. This is this is bad.
They got a special place they take kids like me.
Man, it's not even a sin if they do it.
You're right down the street from the Maryland School for the Blind.
Exactly.
Would be no witnesses.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. So anyway, long story longer, we go in to Jack's Corned Beef on Lombard.
Okay.
He takes me to lunch and gets me my first Jack's Corned Beef sandwich. He sits across from me, looks me dead in the face, and he goes, well, do you want to be dead or successful by the time you're 20? And I said, successful. And he said, well, stop acting like a jackass in class, because there's also 22 other kids in that classroom that are trying to learn, that don't have your natural abilities or talent, that need this classroom. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
It's not about me.
It's not about me.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, the other great thing they did was they told me that if I behaved myself all day, the last 15 minutes of every day, I could get up and do jokes and tell stories.
Well, talk about that part. That's what it was so interesting. You said I was the funniest kid in class.
Hands down.
How old were you when
Second
you knew
grade.
you were funny?
My second grade teacher told my mother, get him into drama class. And I was against drama. I thought something
Still
wrong.
are.
Yeah. No, but like now I'm embracing the acting side of it, whatever. But back then I didn't want it. But second grade, they knew I was a unique kid.
What was the first time you made people laugh?
My family. I can never forget it. It was the time Steve Martin, I think it was 76, 77. So I don't know, 8 or 9. And he did King Tut on Saturday Night Live.
That
and the
funky
next day,
Tut.
Right? The next day I was doing it for my family. And I mean, I lived in a house with 13 people.
Oh.
And they were all just on the floor. And ever since that moment, I said, this is what I'm going to do. And then I found my uncles and my dad's Richard Pryor albums and George Carlin and Bill Cosby.
Any
and
Red
the
Fox in
Smothers-
there?
Yeah. And the Smothers
I
Brothers.
catch a little Red Fox in your
Red Fox, tons of Red Fox. And to answer your question, Don, I knew what I wanted to do at a young age, and I didn't know how to explain it. I did not know how to tell somebody I want to be a comedian.
Right.
What 8-year-old kid even knows what that is?
What class is that when they send out
Right,
the
yes.
No. That's a firefighter,
Right,
doctor,
yeah,
lawyer.
yeah.
Right.
Priest.
Priest, right.
Yeah. And so the world just looked empty to me. I didn't fit in. And I knew I had a really smart head on my shoulders, because if I was interested, I knew everything about it. And I'm still like that to this day. Window glazing.
Right, it is.
So I
brought you a Pacifica belt buckle. I'll show you later.
Oh, yeah, please.
I brought it for you today.
You're not giving it to me, though.
No, I'm just wearing it. This is my newest one.
I'm just going to bring it and throw it in front of your face, Don.
You can see what you can get.
Yeah, then come out and get in my Ferrari for 2 seconds and get out.
I'll give you
I
my
You
love
can
your
see
belt buckle.
Santa's sleigh, but you can't pick anything out of Santa's
So
sleigh.
Don, I meet Mickey at this tender part of his life where he's running the backstage at Hammerjacks. There was no drugs, no alcohol, no sex, no music, no money.
Not for me. None of that for me.
So I am the Cameron Crowe almost famous reporter.
I remember.
I'm 17, 18 years old.
Yep.
I'm backstage with my notebook.
You were the music
notebook was
reporter.
exactly the size of my
I remember.
lottery tickets.
You look like every guy in like a 1930s gangster movie. Hey, Al, where you boys going to be tomorrow, huh? Come on, say it ain't so, Al. Really, 3:30 sharp. No kidding.
Press.
Hey,
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Hey, kid.
Want to make a nickel? Run this up to the editor. And don't stop to say hello to Margie. You know who I mean.
Come on, kid.
Mickey's just, and there's not that many people backstage, and not many of us were male.
Right,
You know, there was
right.
the dude that ran the sound. There was Steve Kitchis who
Right.
ran the production.
Yep.
There was Tom Perry, who was the best looking
General
man
manager,
on earth.
right.
I mean, literally looked like this chiseled.
He looked like a Ken doll.
Yeah, he's the most beautiful man on
Perfect-looking
earth.
man.
Perfect man, right? And then there's me and
Till
Mickey.
you talk to him.
Then there's me and Mickey back there, just waiting for like the LA Guns to come on
Anybody,
stage,
yeah.
and groupies, and
And we bonded that way.
yeah, we became friends.
We also both knew how freaking lucky we were to be standing where we were.
Yeah.
You knew it then,
Right.
and I knew it
I'm
too.
like, dude, that's Cindy Lauper.
Right, yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Look, that's Ginger Baker.
Right.
That's the real Ginger Baker.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Chrissy Hind
How
over there.
crazy was Ginger Baker?
Oh, my God.
Don,
He was not a nice man.
not
No.
only
He was not a nice man.
he literally walked in. You got a language
He was
barrier, right?
grouchy.
No, we don't.
Do you
You
have
can drop the F-bomb. It's
Okay. He literally walked in the back.
Dundalk.
I'm going to do
We
it
got
quietly
people
because people
eating.
eating.
Yeah.
But he walked in the back of Hammerjacks. And he goes, he walked in, he walks into the concert hall, he looks up and he goes, "This is it." Wait, it gets better. He goes, "I played in front of the fucking Queen of England. This is it."
Dude, I sort of think I remember that sort of
And I
tirade.
just remembered looking up at him and thinking, that is a bitter old bastard right there. But then he sat down at that drum
It
set.
was over. Clinic.
Incredible.
Oh, my
my God.
God.
Yeah.
It was, Don, I don't know how to put it in words. It was literally like watching Michelangelo paint.
And doing it in this hall.
Hey.
I mean, that was the thing about Hammerjacks. When Kiss would come down there, there's Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons.
You're going to be
there's
shocked.
Ozzy Osbourne.
You're going to be shocked.
He was there.
Disraeli Gears.
What?
The what?
What was his thing? Disraeli?
Yeah, he's right.
I
Yes.
said, damn right.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
just shocked that I even knew that.
I am too, Don.
I
Yeah.
understand what he said in the beginning.
Well, let's be fair. We were kids and not even born when Ginger Baker was out.
Right.
That's his wheelhouse, Nestor.
Bringing the cream of the crop out. Don Moeller's here. Mickey Cucchella's here. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. So it's the last day of the tour, okay? My man's here.
I'm more excited to talk to him than you, that's for sure.
You sitting in? Let's go, man. I got a headset for you. Come on in.
God, look how
Nick's
good
here.
you look, Pete,
Look
with
at
that
this.
white hair.
Look
at
this.
you with the
Oh,
white
man,
hair.
This is like all
Wait a minute,
week here.
No, I'm going to sit
gonna
on the
have
end.
to-
You go right
no.
in there.
Get another chair, Don.
I
Get
am.
in here, man.
He's trying to take care of your guest first, Nestor.
At some point, we'll all learn how to pronounce his last name.
Great to see you. You do
Pete's
too,
here.
bro.
I was here at 8 in the morning. Here,
Let me
I'll
tell you
catch you up. Pete, how you doing? You all right?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
All right.
I
man.
want you to look at him right now. Look at Pete,
Go
right?
ahead.
If my hair, I got the same kind of hair, right?
You gonna let my hair out?
But if it would grow in that color, I would never, ever dye it. You look fantastic.
Oh man, it's gotten gray on me.
You look great, bro.
You haven't aged a bit, man. I'm
Neither
telling
of
you,
you,
we're
other
going
than
way
the
back.
hair.
Oh my god.
We didn't plan this like a radio thing, like
I
a
know.
timing thing.
How you doing,
like,
sir? How you
because
doing, man? Good to see
I'm
you.
like
Good to see you.
totally. I'm in the middle of like about to tell the story. It's the last day of the tour. And I invited Larry Hogan originally, and he didn't want to do it. Like literally, he saw me 2 weeks ago, Mako, and said, "I did you last year." I'm like, "Okay, maybe you'll be a corn
Yeah.
farmer in Iowa this time next year. I don't know." So
I was gonna say something so funny,
I
but
really
me.
I really thought we were going to do Westmore like yesterday, and we were going to do Larry Hogan today, and I thought that would be nice.
Yeah, it would
So
be.
it worked out, and Wes was available either day. And the morning today would have been afternoon yesterday, and I said, "You know what? We're going to bang this thing on the 29th. I'm going to make it easy." My wife's been sick as a dog. My wife got.
Oh, sorry to hear
She
that.
had a little food poisoning
Wait.
thing going on.
Oh, okay. It's
and-
not nothing serious.
No,
here.
no,
Okay.
no. She's beautiful. She's great. So.
I hope she feels better.
No, I appreciate. I'm trying to get your levels right here because
No
we
worries.
got a mess on my hands here with how you guys said. So, the last day of the tour, and I thought, well, where would I? And Wes's people were like, we do it somewhere, and I'm thinking, well, he's trying to get elected, bring him someplace. Let's bring him a Dundalk, and let's do it in the morning.
Nice.
And then Pam Wood, I ran into her, and then I ran into you, and it just turns out this is a really nice thing, and I appreciate it.
I
It's
love
been
being
a
with
couple
you,
of
Nestor.
years of doing the Crab Cake Tour, and you've been so gracious. Because I mean, you and Faithley's have been my sponsors forever and ever and ever, right?
We go back from the beginning.
But you really inspired because people would say to me, "Hey, you're from Baltimore. You get a crab cake." I'm like, "Well, if you're downtown, go to Faithley's. If you're out in you're out in the suburbs, you should go over to Costas, get crabs, whatever." Forever. And then I'm thinking, I've never really had crab cakes most any other places.
Sure.
Because when I go into another place, I wouldn't get a crab. I would get a pork chop. I'd get something else.
Well, Fairleys is great, man. I mean, what a wonderful place, and they're great folks.
Don't talk good about the competition, Pete. It sounds trite. Listen,
Hey, it's great to be in the conversation.
Listen. I'm going to tell you something. I haven't been here. This is the truth. I'm ashamed to say, 10, 15 years.
What?
Right? I know.
You haven't seen a sign on the wall behind. This is new. Ish.
Listen,
Yeah.
I sat down today. I had a crab cake for the first time in 15 years, and I was like,
You're a Dundalk, man.
this
It's
is
amazing,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
Incredible.
Glad you enjoyed
For real,
it.
bro.
Thank
It's a
you.
great
Wonderful.
crab cake.
You had
right?
Oriole
Incredible.
players in here in a pennant race. You haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, they were a couple Mondays ago. Austin Volt. we had a
Bucky
couple
was
of-
in. I saw Bucky was in.
He brought us a skateboard. We
They
put the
don't put
skateboard.
pictures up when I'm in or you're in. You know,
No,
you gotta,
we don't
You
matter.
got to leave town.
We're
you
in
gotta
too
ride
much.
a skateboard.
Right, you
and
gotta
you
put
gotta
it right
go
up.
to California.
You got to
you-
marry a girl like Jen.
You can't
Bucky's
have
wife.
you can't have the man on without asking him. We always get the up because we care so much about the Bay. What's crab situation been like?
Oh, I tell you, we buy local. We buy Maryland when they're available, but we're year round. So we buy Texas crabs. So we get them out of the Texas Gulf year round, and they're great. The water's
That's why
great.
you
they're
come in here in
plentiful.
December and January, February, and get a crab.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And it's
That
a
crab is
same
not
blue
coming out of
crab.
Chesapeake, yeah.
Maryland-
I've
it's a
argued
Steve
that whole
Maryland way.
thing with people. They go, "Oh, they're not Maryland crabs." I go, look, if you caught a whitefin or a yellowfin tuna off the coast of North Carolina or off the coast of Massachusetts, is it a white,
It's still a
no.
yellowfin
yellowfin
tuna.
tuna?
It's still a yellowfin tuna.
Can I educate you? Have you've
Uh-oh.
never?
I know there's a difference between the Maryland blue crab, but the difference is like that much.
No,
And
no,
they're
no,
seasonal, so you're not going to get
Right.
them. You're not
All
going to get
right,
them.
so this
a
is
good part of the year.
where I'm.
All right, Captain Chesapeake, explain it.
I can break this crab thing down.
I forget how much I love him. And then when I say something harsh like I do to everyone, I see it breaks him. And I'm just like, oh, God, I want to hug you.
He's not happy.
Look at
I look broken.
Yeah,
This man has learned more about the bay, oysters, and crabs over the past 18 months.
Let me just say this about the crabs, okay? Because I've talked to a lot of people. Tony Conrad, he runs out.
I love Tony.
He goes
Yeah,
out.
Conrad's great
I was
job.
supposed to go out with him this week and
crab with
with
him?
him.
Look at me.
Commercial crab 5 a.m. You've done it?
Do not look at me. You're not cut out for it.
That's what
I
he
say
said.
that. You're not.
That's what he said.
You're not.
It's a Lock Raven
You
guy
would
picking
not
on a
be able.
Dundalk
You
guy.
would not.
One of
I'm
your
Lock Raven.
people.
Yeah,
Right.
You're not
So,
even going to be able
Is
to
he going to
untie
be
the boat.
hanging
Here's the
his
deal.
head over the boat?
I was
I'll
supposed to
go out with
No,
Tony.
I
It's
was-
brutal. Right,
I was
right.
supposed to
It's tough-
go
it's tough
out.
work.
I was
You
supposed to
could
go out
do it.
last weekend, and I didn't because my wife's been sick, and I couldn't do it in the middle of the tour. I'm going to go out next couple weeks. Anybody that's out there would tell you the more north on the bay because of the
Yeah.
salination of the water,
Sure.
the brackishness of the water, the
Of
ability
course,
for
all that
crabs,
affects it. Of
if
course.
late season crabs in Maryland are going to be sweeter. I
Oh,
noticed this on the
September,
Eastern
October
Shore.
is when we really jump on Maryland crabs.
Well, that's why
I
I'm
mean,
telling you.
They'll be
this
dynamite
is a
up till
delicacy,
late
and it
October,
is.
November.
It would be like you saying
Agreed.
all tomatoes are the same. They're not. If they're out of your garden and they're grown in special salt
Here's
water,
what I'm saying.
They're going to taste different, completely
Correct.
different.
Oh, that's nature.
I will
They really-
stand corrected. However, they're the same animal.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
I agree that the meat is sweeter in Maryland than it is in Texas.
Well, that's why it's expensive. It's a delicacy.
Right.
We have picking issues on the Eastern Shore, but we don't have any of those at Costas. I come in, I get a crab cake, I order it, I get it. It's perfect. That's all I care about.
That's all that matters.
Now, I've had
By
styles.
the way,
We got that going on.
I don't care if you get the crabs from Lake Erie. If you want to know the truth, that's a landlocked situation.
No, so for me,
We
with
just
all-
need them coming in. We get deliveries.
Oh,
and
my
nonstop.
goodness.
Look at this.
Oh,
All
there
right.
you go.
So we have
Oh,
it broiled and
my
fried. I just want to point this out because I've
Thank
had.
you, Kayla.
I sort of I'm like Johnny Cat. I've been everywhere,
There,
man.
man, I've been
yeah. So I've been
everywhere.
everywhere in this state, and I mean everywhere in
Yeah.
this state. Now I've done.
How many crab cakes have you eaten on this whole tour?
Oh, my
Well,
Lord.
I started the tour a year and a half ago, and I swear to God, it was inspired by pictures I had. I had a picture of Brandon Scott and I eating a crab cake. I had a picture of Larry Hogan and I eating a crab cake. I had a picture here of me and you and Bryant McKinney eating a crab cake
Yeah,
after one.
Bryant, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I've eaten crab cakes with everyone. Everyone asked me, should I get the Faithley? Should I get the Costas? Where do I go? And I'm like, they are so different as to
Yeah.
not be able to say this is the best or this is the best. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to like this crab cake more than this one. You know why?
See, and I'm backwards.
It's fried.
I like them backwards.
I like them fried.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you I can't fry it without
Well, that's the white-
filler or
that's-
binding. And I'm going to tell you filler is what makes it taste good. Don't come to me and say, I don't want a crab with filler. Then you
Filler's
don't
the
want a
best
crab
part.
with taste.
Right.
It's a crab cake. You got to hold it together.
Right.
If you want no filler, come and see Pete, get crabs.
Crab Imperial.
Just get
Yeah.
crabs.
Yeah, crab
Just
Imperial.
eat crabs.
Sauteed crab meat.
That's one of your favorites, crab imperial.
Oh, man, I feel like a king when I eat crab imperial.
Now,
I
Pete,
do.
and I'm not. This is a serious question. Does your family protect the recipe?
It is our our
Nobody
our
will tell
family
me what's in
recipe.
their
It's
crab
our
cake.
family recipe.
It is, right?
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
And you have it
For-
written
for
down and
51
locked up
years.
somewhere?
I share it with the kitchen, and the staff that I have here has been
Do they
with
have to
me
sign
for 30
NDAs?
years.
Like, is it that well?
Exclusively.
Like, is it that well?
Can you take it to Mar-a-Lago?
Well,
No, and Pete, the
This
reason I'm
tastes too good for that.
the reason I'm
There's no ketchup on this plate.
well, there's no bells and whistles. I mean, it's a basic crab meat, and the crab cake speaks for itself. The
Well,
crab meat is just
it's phenomenal,
it's
is my
all right.
I haven't
point, and
eaten
I hope you are
Well, I
protecting the
appreciate it.
recipe.
And we have our sauce that we make, the
Yeah.
imperial sauce, which that is where the all the flavor comes in.
Of course, yeah.
I had
But yeah,
my
we do
first
hold that.
crab
Was
this your
cake
dad's
the other night.
recipe?
My mom started it with my dad. 51
He gets all the
years
credit,
ago,
though,
and,
doesn't he?
yeah,
Nah, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
well, I'll tell you, my mom, she's a great.
I just had
great,
one.
But your
great
dad
chef.
started this. I was telling Don, and please speak to this, and we bring your dad. Your dad let me in this morning. This place started as a Bethlehem Steel getaway, and I would say you served breakfast here for a long, long time on third shift and all that, right? Like my dad would come in here on his way literally
Dude,
home.
18 years old, I worked at Bethlehem Steel. I would stop here after night shift.
Right, that's what you were saying.
But
11 to
crabs
7.
and crab
We
cakes
were
were
open-
not the beginning
I
of your
get that.
business,
Did
right?
you used to cash
this was
checks?
beer, beer drinking, check cash.
Right.
You know, it was 40,000 people down the road. We
I
opened
had-
at 6 a.m. and
I
we
used to
closed
get my
at 2
check
a.m.
ca- right.
We were open 20 hours.
I know.
a
I know
day.
you were.
And we would get packed. Thank you, Kayla. We would be packed 12:30 at night when the
Yep.
shipyard would let out
Yep.
on a Thursday night.
Right.
Shipyard would let out. They come and cash their checks. They
Yep.
get wrapped around the bar. You're selling beer.
Yo, it's
I mean, It
beautiful.
was just a whole different world. And then
at
Bethlehem
D.I.
Steel
jumping in there.
went to zero.
Yeah,
They-
I
they-
was there when it was declining. It was sad.
So I will say there's one bite of this. This to me tastes like the Costas crab cake, right? And people say,
Thank you.
What's this like? It's an East Side crab cake. To me, Old Bay forward, hard on the pepper, good pepper the way I like it. Not too hot, not too spicy. But this
not
is
bland.
not.
It's not bland. It's
This
got
is
flavor.
not one of those
It's also got
delicate.
an element of sweet in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And I think I know what it is, but I won't say it. I'm going to ask you off air.
wait.
No, I will not do that to him. But I think I know there's an element of sweetness in that.
Well,
That I think I know what it is.
this tastes different than some of the. I call it a country club crab cake when it's over sweet and not Old Bayish.
This
you know?
is as best as you can get before somebody starts wrecking what a crab cake is.
This is
Yeah,
an
you
East
don't want
Side
to mess
crab
with
cake.
already,
Perfection.
perfect. Exactly.
Agreed.
So I have people argue about mustard. I've argued about celery seed. I've had arguments about tartar, cocktail, remoulade. But the thing about your crab cake is the East Side, Old Bay, J.O., Chesapeake spice part of that. Not everybody does that. I mean, being a guy now that has been all over the state, you think, well, I'm from Dundalk, all crab cakes taste like this.
They do
And
not.
I've told the story. This is very, very similar to my mother's, the way my mother would make it. Mustard, mayo, balance, a little salty. But we were poor. We grew up with Claw and Special, and my mom would mix
Dude,
it
This is
together.
just a Baltimore traditional just flavor.
Yeah.
do you know who
this was-
started? Does anybody here know who started the crab cake? Where it comes from?
Did you Wikipedia this, or do you know this for
No.
true?
No.
I don't. I might be making it
Window
up completely.
glazing, crab cake
Historian.
history.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe at one time.
You know, I didn't want him to do the show with you because I didn't think it'd be funny.
It was a great idea. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you this much. I think that I believe that the crab meat they used originally as bait for something else. I don't know that part. But they had all this crab meat left over, and they would just make like what we would call meatballs out of them. And all they did was just fry them, just in a pan, saute them.
Really?
And then
And mustard and saltines?
none of that even happened yet. They would
Okay.
just eat them like you would eat a peach. They would
Really?
hold the ball. And eventually guys, like they do, started messing with it. Let's put some of this in there and see what happens. And then apparently, I heard it was the Phillips family. I don't buy that for a second. But somebody in that lineage somewhere, one of the iconic crab places in town,
Well,
developed
Felius goes back
the
to the
first.
You
1800s.
recognize you throw in a word like lineage,
Right.
and everybody just believes that you know what the hell you're talking about,
Listen.
whether you're making it up. The lineage.
Well, look at chicken wings. They never were a thing.
Mueller, listen to you
Buffalo.
on 98 Rock
Well,
for a decade.
Buffalo,
yeah.
They've
They
been
turned out
waiting
to
to
be-
take
now
care
you
of
can't
you.
even get them.
Now you can't. Yeah, now they're $44
Yeah,
a freaking
they're like
dozen.
crazy,
Yeah. By the way, do
They
you
should
eat
throw them
wings?
out.
Do you eat wings?
I love wings.
This is what we need to do one time.
Uh-oh.
Me and you do this
I
together.
don't do that spicy now.
No, I don't either.
It can make me cry.
Ah,
we
that's
have some great
ridiculous.
wings too.
We're going to do a wing tour. Me and you.
I'm literally next summer. I talked to Marshall Weston from the Restaurant Association, who's one of the sponsors of Restaurant
He
Week.
is the greatest. Go ahead.
Hold that up.
That's a compliment. Go. You talk.
I got sponsors, so I still have a radio show.
We've been
Oh!
we've been members of the Restaurant Association since the beginning of time.
Oh, I've been waiting, dude. That
You've
was,
been waiting to
I
say that.
did
Say it again.
want
Say it
that.
again. Say it again.
I don't know what I said.
You said this. I'll help you.
Go ahead.
You said
still
you said
have-
I have sponsors.
I still
have a radio show. Let me say this. I don't have a radio show, but I still have credibility.
You have no idea how much that hurts
Here.
my
That's a
feelings.
shot across the bow.
Kidding
Let
me?
me show you.
You're the most credible guy I know, man. You have done it your way the entire time.
Well,
I was telling this guy earlier that there's no way I could not respect everything you've done. You told the whole town to go F itself, and you're still a voice that people hear. I have nothing but respect and admiration for that.
You
There
have
you
no
go.
idea. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's a God's honest truth.
Hats
Well,
off. Absolutely.
I've had
100%.
all these, but the fact that I still have people like Pete that believe in what I do
Sure.
and sponsor what I do.
Well,
and
Pete's not
especially,
that bright. But.
No, but I'll say this.
A little light in the head.
I can honestly say now, when people come up to me, they talk about crab cakes, they talk about beer, they talk about travel, they talk about going
Sure.
to other places. And it's expanded my view of the world. And I talked to Marshall about this with the Restaurant Association about how many people I've met struggled through the plague, struggled through COVID, had to figure out curbside, figuring out where they're getting crabs every day when they're a crab house. The amount of respect I have for the people that do this so that when we come out, I mean, Mickey, you work backstage. You manage restaurants. Mickey managed a place up in Falston for a long time.
Yeah, owned
Killed
it.
Your place. You owned the place,
Yeah.
right?
I remember
so
that.
you know what this is about.
Oh, it's a
for me to
brutal
go out
business.
and one day after another, and the brewery part of this, and when I leave you, I'm spending the afternoon with Hugh Sisson, who inspired the brewery part. He did a Ukrainian brew. And it made me think, oh, my God, there's like breweries like this. This would be fun to mix beer and crab cakes, right? Because crab cake was my idea last year. But going around the state and seeing how many ways people make a crab cake.
Yeah.
What you're talking about with your mother and my mother and frying a crab cake in a pan.
Yeah.
And whether I got
It's
a crab
Baltimore
cake.
tradition. It's,
Of course
that's
it is.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
I
That
went to
is what we
Scoozy
do.
the other day, and I had a crab cake
Yeah,
at Scoozy
nice
because
folks.
I've
Great
never
folks.
been in Scoozy in my life. Somebody
Phil,
recommended
great.
I went over.
Great
That
guy.
was a Key Brewing for
Family
beer.
business. Yeah. We got Dundalk Calling. I mean, we're partners with Key Brewing. We have their beer here. It's local.
So I
It's
say
wonderful.
a restaurant, and you say who owns it, because the place isn't the place or the crab cake or even the food. It's the human beings,
Of course.
that stick themselves out.
Well, isn't
to
that what a
have
home?
business,
A home
right?
is
Great
the same.
family business.
A home is the same way. You walk into somebody's house. You're not in a house. You're in their home. It's a representation of who they are. I've always believed that. And when you go into a restaurant that's not a corporate chain, you go into one, you look around at these walls, at all the memorabilia, that their appreciation and love, not only for the city, but for their customers, for the history that the building we're sitting in represents. If people don't consciously see it, trust me when I say subconsciously, it makes the food better.
I think the
You
plague
hit
did
it on
that
the
too.
head.
The
I mean,
plague
when,
did that
when,
too.
when guests come here, we want them to feel at home, and we got regular.
Those
guests
two
that come
girls
here every
behind
day.
that bar
They-
today.
I got employees that have been here for 35 years.
The two ladies, with
And it's like
Chrissy
home. Wow.
and the blonde
Oh, yeah.
lady,
Kayla. Yeah.
They're like my sisters. I talked to them for 10 seconds, and we're yelling at each other and joking. That is what
Awesome.
Baltimore has always been. It's just this: you get along because we're from here,
Yep.
and we are here. And this place represents it better than most I've ever been
Well,
in.
thank you. That's a
that's a-
great compliment. It's a tight community. And,
Very much
appreciate
so.
that.
Well, then
Thank
for me,
you.
doing 30 straight days of not just eating and drinking and working and literally in my car going somewhere, and some days where I didn't want to go, right? There were some days where my wife's been sick the last week and a half. I went alone. She missed Duran. She missed Rod Stewart. So I'm going out doing this, and every place I've gone in, just for a moment, there's been energy.
Yeah.
But the breweries have been especially unique to me.
See, I
because
wish
none
I
of
could
them-
buy that with you, could get into that with you, but I'm not a beer guy, so it sucks for me.
I don't know how he stays so trim.
It's
Is it
amazing.
unbelievable, isn't it?
Isn't that amazing?
It's
Yeah.
unreal.
What do you run every
Well,
day
the
after you
amazing
get
part
out
about
the
these
restaurant?
breweries, and I'll just say this.
It is
Stress.
amazing.
And for anybody that's ever been on one or on many, they're inspired in that they're all less than 10 years old. They're all
Yeah.
a vision of a Pete or Pete's dad, somebody
Yeah.
out on a farm doing something different. Families, community, trivia, dogs. I've been in 31 breweries. I'm gonna
Dogs
tell
are
you,
everywhere.
25 of the 31 breweries there have been dogs in there
Okay.
when I've been
That's
in
great.
there.
That's
Okay,
great.
if I can be party pooper for 1 second, please. I'm all for it. I love the brewery success. I love the idea of making your own flavors and reinventing the game. I love usually their barns or some sort of industrial building that they flipped. I love all of
They
it.
got horses, cows, the whole
Yeah.
thing. Goats. I've seen it all.
When I'm eating though,
Really?
when I'm eating and a stranger's dog comes over
I know.
and starts sniffing at my plate, I want to go over and smack the dog owner because it's not nice. Like, I get that you want to be with your dog. I do. I get it. Your dog means a lot to you. It's like your child, even though it isn't a
Well,
child.
they have behave.
But then they come over and they start sniffing around, and it's like, I don't like this.
It's not doing it for you.
I don't like it.
Is there one moment where you're thinking, I hope I wash my bits?
Well, no, there's never
No,
a
I'm
moment
just
right.
thinking, sure. I mean, I'm just thinking maybe.
And then one other thing, I was going to tell this right away when you sat down, but I didn't think anyone believed me. But Costas crab cake saved my life. This is
How
a
did
true
that-
story. True story.
Now, wait a minute. See, we started with the history of the crab cake.
Now, let this a
we
true
used
story,
the word
Don.
lineage, and now we're going to have the spiritual
Don,
part
as a
of the
I want
former,
to hear this one.
as a former educator,
Always an educator.
you should want to hear. I'm sorry, as an educator.
This is Sunday morning meditation.
Yes,
with
but
Mickey
you should always
Cucchiella.
want to hear the completion of thought.
I do. I really
Here
How'd
it
you save
is.
your life? Go ahead.
I'm in Iceland during the summer solstice. Have you ever been?
Only the airport.
Okay.
Several times.
The people of Iceland are the most giant human beings on Earth. Their average height is like 6'3" for males. Women are like 5'11". They're huge people.
Wow.
Summer solstice, 24 hours of daylight. I go into a bar at 1 a.m. I walk out at 3:30 in the morning. It looks like this right now outside. And I'm hammered, and I never drink. But I'm hammered. And I'm looking around, and there's these 3 giant men looking at me like I'm doing something terrible. And I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing wrong, right? I'm smoking, and the guy walks up to me and goes, you know, but in a very thick Icelandic accent, you're smoking. And I was like, yeah. He goes, you have to go over there to smoke. It was like off the square where I was. I didn't know. So I'm sorry. I will run away like a good tourist. I'm standing there, and one of them walks over, doesn't speak a lick of English, but he's like doing that to me. Like waiting for me to fight him or something, right? So finally, one of his buddies comes over and goes, where are you from? And I go, I'm from America. He goes, where? I said, Baltimore. When I said the word Baltimore, the guy that didn't speak English, I swear to you, goes, crab cake.
No way.
Those 2 words. Listen, it gets better. And I said, yeah, we have crab cakes. He goes, crab cake. Like, he was like all excited.
You must have been the Costas.
His
I was gonna
buddies,
say.
listen, his buddy said he was a boxer, this guy that was messing with me, and he did a tour of America, and he fought for Jake Smith.
Oh.
And they came, this is how he said
No
it.
kidding.
He goes, come to Costas.
Oh,
Costas.
my God.
Right? And I'm going, Costas. And I'm like, my brain, and I go, Costas? Costos. He couldn't say it right.
That is
But he
classic.
knew it, and it saved my life. That guy was going to kill me.
I found out that I've been saying it wrong all these years
Ted
because Ted
Venetoulis.
Venetoulis would say it in the Greek way, which is
Ted's great.
Costas.
Costas.
Ted would say,
That's how he's doing in Iceland.
we're going to go
Iceland,
over to
right?
Costas and get and when Ted came in, if you remember,
Yeah, Ted's
Ted
great.
introduced me. God bless him, gone too soon.
Yeah,
but he came
absolutely.
in with that. You talk about the waitress.
Yeah.
Ted says to the waitress over here, she couldn't have been nicer. He goes,
Right.
And I've done this ever since. He goes, I like a Bloody Mary. And he said, can you just put a dash of orange juice in it? And she looked at him, and he said, I know. Nobody's ever ordered it that way before. Can you put it that? And she goes, certainly. And so he says, I'm telling you, you're going to never go back. And ever since then, I've
That's
never
how
had
you do
a
it.
Bloody Mary without a dash.
Look at that.
dash
Little
of
Ted
orange.
Venetoulis
Ted
love
Venet-
over here.
Yeah.
A little.
Ted's
a
great.
little-
He's been coming here since we opened, since '71.
Now I got you here, and I've been looking for this, and I got you here. I've been looking for this. I know you're not a huge soccer fan.
Go ahead.
The
Why would you
World
say
Cup's
that?
coming up. I mean, you love baseball, football, and basketball
I don't
more than you
follow
love
it. I don't
soccer.
follow it.
That's all I
Right.
meant. I'm not insulting
the
you.
World Cup.
But
I'm
you'll
not-
follow
right.
the
I
World
was going to say,
Cup.
you're a
Yeah,
World
yeah.
Cup.
Yeah, I
fan.
Yes.
watch the World Cup.
So we need a hub for the World Cup.
Right here. Nice.
Want to
I'm
do
in.
it?
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Count me in.
Absolutely.
I'll get
Yeah,
guys to
got
come
it.
down here.
Yeah.
We're going to have to put some. You got TVs on that side, right?
He's got
Got like
TVs.
15 TVs.
We're going to have to put
Yeah,
TVs.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
in
didn't see the
sports
one
bar.
above me.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Because none of these walls have
Mickey
them.
hadn't been to Costas in 15 years. But I'm
Yeah.
glad I dragged your ass out here.
Last
The World
time-
Cup better be great, man.
And
Last
next
time I was
next
here
time
was
you'll be
called
funnier,
Mykonos.
Don Moeller, Pete has been kind enough to bring a broiled and a fried crab. Thanks for all
So
you do.
delicious,
Appreciate you.
man.
Oh,
Thanks for coming
pleasure,
down. I've been
man.
trying to
Pleasure.
get you on the show to like tell your 50th
Appreciate
anniversary
it.
came and went,
Nestor.
and he hadn't been on since the 50th anniversary.
Nestor, tell folks, we assume because it's such an institution, but you repeat, tell folks where Costas is,
Yeah.
where they can come find this great food.
Very, very sadly, and I mean this, it's on the Patapsco side of Dundalk. You know what I mean? So,
Right, I get it.
I'm just saying, it is, but North Point Boulevard, I would call it North Point Inn, North Point Village,
North Point
On the
Boulevard,
road to
outside of
Sparrows
Sparrows
Point.
Point, Fort
Yeah.
Howard.
Around the corner from
listen,
Edgemere?
dude. It's on. Everybody knows where
Right.
it is. I mean, they legit do. And If
Well,
you
you'd be
don't,
surprised. I get folks come in and say, "Oh, we've never been here before."
They're probably
We've
out of
never been to
town.
Dundalk. Yeah, well,
They're
yeah,
not
we've
from
got a lot
Dundalk.
of folks from out of town.
Well, on
for sure.
behalf of my mother, and you were her favorite, and you know that. I mean, you remember my mother.
I love serving her a Bud Light. We
And
had a
you know,
lot of
she
fun.
loved that
Oh, my-
Bud
yeah,
Light.
she did.
Somebody said, was it Pam or you? Somebody said that they hadn't been in this room. That it was Pam. She said every time she ever comes here, she sits in
Right.
a bar.
Right.
And I thought about this, like my mother. I have 100 pictures of my mother.
They're all
from
over
here.
there.
They're all in the bar.
Right, of
And
course.
my mother never sat over here.
She always sat in the
that
bar.
generation
Yeah.
was like, I'm not going to the dining room.
Right.
If I want to do that, I'll stay
I
home.
got to dress up to sit in the dining room.
Right, exactly.
I
I gotta wear
I wanna stay
shoes.
close to the beer.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I bitch about a thing that happened on the road that I wanted to?
I'd rather you
I
didn't,
mentioned
but-
this to Marshall Weston last week. No. This is an old school thing, right?
Uh-oh.
If you sat at the bar, you could split a meal in
Yeah,
the old days
right.
without getting a split meal
Charge.
I got on this tour split meal charged.
Not here.
No, but I'm thinking like who. I didn't even know that was a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They still do it?
It's not
really?
a thing.
Oh, I
It's
get
not a thing.
To give you an extra plate and just separate something?
No,
Yeah, why would
charge
you-
$10 to do it.
Yeah.
No. I got it on the bill.
I got that a
I think
lot
it's a
in
deterrent,
Alaska.
but-
In
Yeah, me
Alaska.
too. Me
This
too.
is what I said. I said to my wife, this is like a country thing. Like, this is something from the 80s that
I
they're
got a
still
lot- I
doing.
got a lot of
Because
that in
once
Alaska.
A lot of
appetizers
things went out
came-
with the 80s.
Yeah.
Once appetizers came and,
Yeah.
like, all of that, right? But, like, there used to be a perception that if you sat in the dining room, you were expected to order a meal.
Of
Or they
course.
would charge you
Yeah.
$5 to split a plate or whatever.
And that's why a lot of those places aren't open
I
anymore.
couldn't believe in 2022
That
I
was
got a
a-
bill.
yeah,
and
that's
when I
ironic.
pushed back a little bit, the waitress said, it was right there on the menu, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I thought my wife got the spinach salad. I did order a $47 steak and
Wow, that
Right.
cake. You really want $10 from me? Really, this has?
On top of a
I'm
$50
telling you,
entree.
man, this is where you get
Okay,
out
where
and
was
say
it?
I don't think
things.
you'll be.
I'm not.
I don't think.
Whisper
you'll
in
be
my
going
ear,
back,
I'll
right?
say it.
I don't think you're going back.
It was a really good spinach salad. It really was.
Just get two next time. Just get
Get
two.
out on that
I'm
one.
funnier than you. I am.
You win,
I
Dad.
am
Open,
funnier than you.
I think the
open
10
mic night.
How many times have I said, come do comedy
He
with
wants
me?
me. My wife says to me, "You're a sissy."
Right.
You're
I think
never-
the end
So
of
for a
that.
$10 charge, couldn't you just get another salad?
Hey, you know what? Hey, why don't we do a comedy night here one time?
Mickey, I'm going to give
Open
you.
mic.
I'm,
There
I'm,
you
I'm
go,
listen,
man.
because I'm
Would
eating
you
a
do
crab
it?
cake and I'm with friends. Okay,
absolutely.
I'm going to pretend I'm not on radio right now.
Yeah.
This would not be about me having people laugh at me. You need to teach me to have people laugh with me.
I would write for you. Help you
man.
at least. I mean,
How do you turn that down, dude?
Dude, do you know I don't
you
do
have endless
sports.
I
material
can't
here.
use the F
I
word.
do. No, you don't need to. Let me tell you something though. I don't do sports humor because I love it. Like there's like Bill Burr does a lot of it. I'm just not that much of a sports nut. You know what I mean? But if I could write for you, who does know sports stuff,
Now we go back. Now we're going back like to Padonia Station, Christopher's. You
93,
did comedy
90
there.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
that
if
was
I
like-
ever,
I've been doing it my whole life.
if
man.
I
was
ever got
just
successful
wild
doing
times.
it, I'd have to credit him.
No, you wouldn't. Trust me, you will have paid me well before you get credit for it.
you can send him a little love.
He's dealt with enough in these clubs.
Yeah,
you
trust me.
get paid up front,
Yeah.
right?
So
I am the James Brown of comedians. Where's my money? I don't go on that stage till I get paid.
Chuck
I'm
Berry.
not kidding.
Remember that story our guest told about Chuck Berry?
Absolutely.
Said, I'll be out.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you guys, Buddy
Yeah.
Guy. Buddy Guy played Hammerjacks.
Okay.
Buddy Guy, I don't know if he's one of the greatest blues guitar players that
I
ever
was
lived.
there that night.
Played with Muddy
Hammerjacks.
Waters, everybody. B.B. King, he's the legend. Well, about 25 minutes before he's set to go on, opening act comes off stage, and Buddy's tour guide or tour manager comes up to me, and he says, I said, hey, Mickey, he's a great guy, man. He said, hey, Mickey, we need to get Buddy's money. I said, oh, well, I thought we were going to settle afterwards. He goes,
Oh, no.
Mr. Guy don't, how'd he say it? He goes, Mr. Guy don't touch a string till he gets all his in the bag, right? And I go, now, keep in mind, I shouldn't say this, but it was over $40,000 that he made,
Okay.
cash.
Whoa. Okay.
There was no other way to pay him. So we
He
have
wasn't playing until he got it all.
and
Wow.
every cent. And it had to be cash. So luckily it's Hammerjacks, giant safe full of money most of the time. $40,000, he gave us the duffel bag. His manager picked it up. Like I wish that people listening could see it. He grabs it and he goes, yeah, that's close enough. He just lifted it off the table. Yeah, that feels close enough. And then he did open it and look in it. We were all laughing. And then you saw the show. It was.
Oh, he torched the place.
How about when he went out front and stood on the cop car and played?
Incendiary.
He went out front with a wireless rig and stood on top of a cop car.
You're kidding.
And
I had
people went out.
People went outside and watched him.
Yeah.
And I held the door open so he could hear the band from inside.
Wow.
And he's playing in a delay, though, because it's a little bit of a delay. And when I walked back in, it sounded perfect. I was just blown
He'd
away.
done it before.
Wow.
Oh, once or twice.
Yeah, I think he's done it before.
Yeah.
All right, look, man. I last thing on the comedy thing, because I do want to follow up.
Sure.
For you, for more than anything, and
Yes,
for my
sir.
wife. Louis Anderson,
Yeah.
the late, great Louis Anderson,
Yes.
sat in with me at the Super Bowl in
Nestor, you're
Minnesota.
so funny.
So a little bit like that. A little bit.
Very much like that.
He remembered sitting down, and I said to him, I said, my friend Mickey is really funny.
I know,
you know,
Mickey. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, probably Mickey from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I did his show.
Yeah, I did him.
He's not funny. So I was going to have him on the Hollywood Squares. So Louis sits down and gives me this whole thing of, you can do it. You can write. Like
Right.
the same thing you're
Yeah.
doing. He's like, look, take my number, take my email.
Yeah.
You let me know. On my life, this is true. My
Yeah.
wife and I, 6 months later, it was when we went out to see the Capitals play to win the Cup. My wife's only been in Vegas one time since she got sick.
Right.
It was this trip. We went out to see the Caps win the Cup. So whenever that was, it's a year and a half
15,
later. It's a
16.
year and a half, 16, no, 17. It was the same year. Six months later, we're in the Las Vegas airport. We landed really late at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're walking through. There's nobody in the airport. Ding, 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 ding. You know, little winners and all that, right? And I look up, and there's Louis Anderson, broken down, carrying his bag in front of us. You've been at a Vegas airport?
Yeah.
You know, you take that conveyor
Right,
belt
right.
down,
Down, and it's like a casino.
It's
Yeah.
like
Right.
giant.
Machines everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like a scene out of a movie. There
Right.
were this many people, 15, 20 people
Right.
in that giant area, 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's Louis Anderson. I'm walking along, and it was like a scene out of a movie. I'm like, my wife's like, that's Louis Anderson. I'm like, he might remember me. I went up, I turned around, and I'm like, hey, Louis, you start your comedy career yet?
He remembered.
He's like, you didn't write me, but you can. I'll help you.
He would have.
He said, I think you can be funny.
Yeah.
And
It's not a bad start in an
then,
invention there.
then he died, and I cried.
Yeah.
Because I never got. Louis Anderson offered to coach me. You've offered to write comedy for me.
Yeah, what more do I gotta do?
I'm 53.
I'll buy a
I'm
ticket.
about to get thrown out of my sports.
Will you buy two?
I'll
Don?
buy 2 tickets.
It's a show.
I'm already banned by the Orioles. You know what I mean?
See,
So,
that's the stuff you need to talk about.
I'll buy 2
I'll write
tickets.
it all day for you. Trust me.
all right, we're gonna break
Hey,
now. I gotta go.
Listen,
I gotta go.
real quick. Do I get 2 seconds?
You have to, because I have a lunch.
Okay,
I'm
listen.
gonna be late.
Listen, all I want to say is this to you. I say it every time I'm on, and I don't care if people make fun of me. I could not be more proud of you. I mean it. You don't get any love the way you should for what you've done with your career and how supportive you are of not only people that deserve it, but people that just did the smallest things for you along the way.
Well-
I never hear anybody talk about you this way. They're always, oh, that guy's so opinionated. You're one of the best. So as you continue to do what I love to watch, please know that there are people like myself, like Pete, like Don, who see it, dude. You're a great guy, and you're incredibly talented, and I'm honored to be on this show every time you call me.
One day I'll be funny.
You are funny.
Mickey,
Well
Pete,
said.
thank you.
Well
Yeah.
said.
That's
I
very
can't
sweet of you.
agree more. Can't
All
agree
right,
more.
so with that, I will end this because I'm about to go on a little bit of a vacation here. When I come back, I'm going to be asking for everyone's support on a key thing. So I'm going to leave that alone. All right?
Absolutely.
And
You
you've
got
already
mine.
brought
I don't
one
know.
of it up. All
Okay.
right. Your
Sounds
full
great.
support. You mean that?
I mean, if you're going to all of a sudden start skinning dogs for make coats,
So-
no, I'm out.
We need a little more space.
I need a little more. I mean, if it's something,
Here's what I want.
He needs a commitment.
Here's what I want you to say.
Is it financial support?
I
Because you're
want you,
screwed.
I
if
want you
that-
to say. That's a good point. Yeah. I want you to say what Mike Tomlin said to me on Latro. Whatever you need, man.
Whatever you need. If I can do it, you got
Whatever
it.
you need.
As long as
man.
it doesn't involve skinning
Skinning an
He
animal.
said, whatever you need, man.
Keep that
I
out.
got your back.
Well, you know me.
All right, that's it. Mickey
know it.
Cucchiella, Pete's always got my back. Don's
Thanks,
always got my
brother.
back.
Always.
40th anniversary
Oh,
of our
dude.
relationship.
Oh,
this
Happy
week.
anniversary.
Yeah,
Right, I've been
Dad,
coming here at least
wow.
30,
It's
and then
wonderful.
there's
Lots
you.
of gray hairs.
You realize how long we've known each
got
other?
plenty of
30
those.
years, man.
Yep, 30
All
years.
right, on behalf of the Maryland Lottery, who's been kind enough to send us out here, take your ticket, damn
You
it.
never got
Take
it.
your
You
ticket.
never gave it to
Pete's
me.
getting one, too.
Thank
There
you,
you
man.
go.
Thank you.
Pete'll win.
Ken's
He
getting
doesn't need the
one.
money. That's why he'll
Winner,
win.
Winner, lottery
right.
dinner. And, of course, Don Moeller, former Baltimore County executive and my Baltimore Positive partner. Goodwill, always a part of what we do here. Window Nation. I even put the hat on for Mickey, so I look
Can't
like
wait
I'm
to
dealing
scratch.
cards. And the
Nice. Look
Restaurant
at it,
Association. Hey, Pete, say something nice about Restaurant Week, man, and what it means. Get people out here. Everybody's showing off their
absolutely.
Restaurant Week.
Restaurant Week is a great time to showcase all your favorite dishes and get some new folks out to come out and try some different things that they haven't tried and come to some different restaurants.
And you
Baltimore's
said
got some great
before we
restaurants
jump off, I
to-
want to
to check
reiterate
in.
what you said because sometimes folks don't think it's through. You said September and October, some of the best time for Maryland crabs.
That's
You already
crab
won.
time.
I'm
That's
a
the
winner.
best
He's
time.
already
Whoa,
won. Oh, winner.
$4.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
did you hear that? September and October.
That's the best time of the year for crabs.
No doubt.
Oh, hands
Yeah,
down.
that's the best time.
And when's soft crab season? Spring, right?
Spring, but they slough in the
Late fall, right?
Well, late summer and they
Okay.
and we have
That's my
soft crabs
favorite thing in the
available all
world.
time, and
You like that
they
crunch?
fly out of here.
Love soft
That's
crab.
why I
Soft
like
crabs
to
are
fry
great.
crab cake,
Yeah, we
right?
pan fry them.
All right, I got to get out of here. Love you guys. Appreciate
Love you, bro.
Baltimore Positive, stay with us. We got more ahead.
You might as well
we do what we
scratch
do
this
here.
one.
No, I'll let you.